You'll be just a little bit delayed today because before we hold our legislative session, I'm continuing with a tradition that we've established at the city of delivering an annual message to the council from the president and to the citizens from the council. So I'm very happy today to deliver my annual message. And first of all, I wanted to start out by thanking staff, especially the city manager who helped me with so much of the background work, and to the department directors who supplied me with excellent information, which you will see and hear in my coming speech. But particularly to Kathy Merle, who sits right there, who helped me in countless ways pull all this information together and make the presentation look very polished, I'm sure. The state of the city is an opportunity to reflect on the city's year just passed and to look forward to the year ahead. Each year I've used a theme to organize my thoughts for this message. And so this year I chose the theme of the value of cooperation. Specifically, in what ways do our internal and external cooperative relationships bring better service to the city and to the citizens at a better price? It turns out that cooperation in nature, including human nature, is a primary architect of successful evolution. In the July 2012 issue of Scientific American, researcher Dr. Martin Nowak finds that selfless behavior abounds in nature. Cells coordinate to check runaway cell division. Female lion cubs take care of other females' cubs. And humans help other humans obtain food and defend territory. The author defines 5 categories of cooperation in nature. One of them, the mechanism of group selection, is a special skill of humans. In this natural impulse, people exhibit selfless behavior for the common good. The researcher observed that the connection to a group is a powerful motivator for taking care of that group. And though the article didn't say specifically, I will make an inference that his research indicates that entire cities can feel this powerful connection to one another, and because of it, build a culture of cooperation. For such a culture exists in Eau Claire. Over the next few minutes, I will share with you how our cooperative culture brings value to citizens in the form of savings and better services, and how we plan to improve those agreements in 2014. So let's begin with the City-County Health Department. The Health Department is engaged in many formal cooperative agreements with both government and non-government partners. Some examples are with multi-counties for HIV partner services, with the United Way and the Medical College of Wisconsin for Healthy Partnership Program, with community partners for public health preparedness and the Medical Reserve Corps, with the school district for a program called Drug-Free Communities, and with several municipalities for lab services that test water from wells. In 2014, the Health Department will be expanding its cooperative agreements by expanding HIV regional services to 12 counties and expanding agreements with the school district in drug prevention efforts and in the area of school nursing. The City Police Department also operates many shared agreements. One of these with 17 law enforcement agencies to form the West Central Wisconsin Drug Task Force to combat illegal drug use, sales, and distribution in the Chippewa Valley. Another cooperative agreement with the Sheriff's Department shares office and workspace. Although you don't see anyone working there, there are many people working in this shared space. Another agreement with the Eau Claire County to operate the comm center, or as we often call it, the 911 center. The Eau Claire Police Department provides radio and phone communications for all emergency services in Eau Claire County. Another cooperative agreement with Eau Claire County and the City of Altoona for a shared Chippewa Valley Computer Forensics Lab. And another with the Eau Claire School District for the Police School Liaison Program. In 2014, the Police Department hopes to expand its shared agreements through shared fingerprinting services countywide. And that's where you would get your fingerprinted if you ever needed your fingerprinted. The image on the screen. The fire department operates a very well-known cooperative agreement called Regional EMS, or Regional Emergency Medical Services. This valuable contract, begun in 2008, ensures quick, reliable, high-level emergency care. The partners in this agreement are the Mayo Clinic Health System, Sacred Heart Hospital, Marshfield Clinic, the City of Eau Claire, the City of Altoona, the Village of Fall Creek, townships within Eau Claire County, Brunswick, Pleasant Valley, Seymour, Union, Washington, Ludington, and Lincoln, and townships in Dunn County, Rock Falls, and Springbrook. And I mention all of those partners on purpose to show you the complicated nature of the regional EMS shared services. In 2014, the fire department will improve a shared program it began with Chippewa Valley Technical College called Girls on Fire, a leadership camp for young women, which focuses on young women entering fire and emergency medical services. There are some of them, I think, right there. Examples of the cooperative agreements at the library are many. A few are one with Eau Claire County for county-wide library services, another with the Indian Head Federated Library System for improved collections, and another with the Moore Consortium for expanding local selections. As a result of the Moore Consortium, a patron at the Eau Claire Library can access 1.7 million items in 48 libraries with a single card. That is a valuable shared agreement. In 2014, the library hopes to expand its shared agreement with a project called WIN, W-I-N, which will combine 3 public library systems in north central Wisconsin and create an integrated library system among 99 libraries in 25 counties. Something we can look forward to using in the future. In the Parks and Recreation and Public Works Department, many cooperative agreements exist. Too many to mention them all, so I'll mention some. With the Eau Claire School District for summer school classes, with UW-Eau Claire skating groups and the school district for hockey and figure skating at Hobbs Ice Center, with UW-Eau Claire, the school district, and hometown teams for games at Carson Park baseball and football stadiums, with Pine Meadows Golf Course for parking and cross-country skiing at Fairfax Park, with UW-Eau Claire for student passes to ride the city bus, and just this year with the City of Menominee for bus services between the two cities, especially between UW-Eau Claire, Chippewa Valley Technical College, and UW-Stout. In 2014, the Parks Department is working to develop Jeffers Road Park to build a shared fields for girls fast pitch ball and American League. Another expansion of working with community groups and the public sector to bring better recreation and shared expense of recreation services to our city. Even the Information Services Department operates shared agreements. 3 important ones come to mind. This year, they just entered with Chippewa County into a shared agreement for a coordinated website purchase, which shares space and protects against data loss. This is the rollout of the new Chippewa County website, which we were instrumental in helping them design and do the background work and share data in the background and redundancy, it's called in information service lingo. Also, in 2011, Chippewa and Eau Claire County and the Library Service purchased 2 IBM i-Series servers, which Mr. LeBrun was very excited about, and this is what they look like. The cost of those servers would be about $100,000 apiece. Because they shared the expense, they realized a savings in that capital purchase of over $600,000. A significant savings for our city. And recently, Information Services formed an agreement with 25 area organizations to establish the CINC network, C-I-N-C. This network then applied for a BTOP grant, Broadband Technology Opportunities Program grant. Because we won the grant, high-speed, reliable network connections to over 50 city locations and a shared WiMAX network are now possible. People who ride the bus now have access to wireless network. And 90 city vehicles are supported with the WiMAX network. Mr. LeBrun was also very proud of this photo, placing the antenna on top of one of the city's water towers. It's a very precarious process, but it went smoothly for our city, and he was happy to capture the photo that you see before us. In 2014, the Information Service Department will be investigating how this improved connectivity can improve ways to broadcast meetings and events, perhaps better broadcasting of the meetings in this very room. Community development also has many cooperative agreements. 2 of them are with 5 surrounding towns to provide a common set of development standards within the city's extraterritorial plat review area. Only someone who's served on the Plan Commission can say city's extraterritorial plat review area. So I'm proud I can say that. It's that gray area on the map there. It took so many hours of working very closely with our surrounding townships to hone what is a fair and open-minded and reasonable agreement for how the land use between the city and the townships meet up, and how we can plan for that in a rational way. It's been a wonderful way to grow our relationship with the towns, and has served us already very well. So it was worth every single hour. The Community Development Department also recently formed an agreement with Eau Claire County for the ACS Land Development Parcel Software. And here are 2 employees using the parcel software to show parcel and land information. But the real benefit is that now the city is able to print its own maps. Though it is difficult to place a dollar value on the savings from these agreements, property owners and developers now enjoy a more simplified and unified standards for the development of their property. And lastly, the Human Resources and Risk Management departments have a long history of creating cooperative agreements. In fact, since 1988, the city has had a shared agreement with the City of Madison and 13 counties, forming a common risk pool called the Wisconsin Municipal Mutual Insurance Company. Dividends paid to the city because of this shared risk exceed $1.4 million. In 1986, another shared risk pool was formed for a shared auto liability insurance company. And this stabilized expenses and has paid dividends to the city of over $400,000. And as you all know, we've told many, many times about human resources leadership in instituting an employee wellness program under the guidance of Group Health Cooperative, which has improved health indicators among staff and cut expenses. And as you can see by that photo, our city workers are no one to mess around with. Morning exercise. In 2014, the HR department, under combined leadership with the county and the school district, is looking at serious ways to explore coordinating health insurance among these three public entities to lower cost and provide improved access, quality, transparency, and outcomes. In preparation for today, I asked the department directors to do the best they could to calculate the monetary value of the cooperative agreements we maintain. The narratives they sent back to me made me very proud to be a part of this city, and I learned the value of these agreements is significant. For example, the health department reports at least $3.5 million of its budget is connected in some way to cooperative agreements. The police department attributes $181,000 of its annual budget to cost savings from cooperative agreements. The fire department sees revenues of $200,000 a year from the regional EMS partners and $400,000 from ambulance charges. But according to Chief Kerner, the real value of regional EMS is priceless. We have saved more lives in our region since the agreement was instituted than would have been possible before. The real value of sharing resources with our surrounding townships and municipalities is priceless in the human lives and the health that has been maintained. The library system sees cost savings of over $540,000 a year due to its cooperative agreements and including its membership in the Moore Consortium. And Public Works and Parks reports an annual cost savings of $785,000, which does not include the recent $1 million investment in the Hobbs locker rooms by UW Eau Claire. Information Services enjoys an annual cost savings of $90,000 in service contracts, and HR attributes $1.7 million in savings and $1.8 million in returned dividends over time from its shared risk pool, which is an annual value of about $135,000. And as I mentioned before, the health benefits to the city employees as a result of the wellness program overseen by Group Health Cooperative and shared with them is indeed priceless. Yet, that agreement, that wellness initiative, has reaped a cost savings to the city of $15 million in the years 2007 to 2014. Taken together, these cost savings total the cost savings of these agreements and others which I could not mention today total about $5 million. While it is difficult to attribute an exact dollar value, cost savings, or an exact improvement or expansion of services, one can easily attribute a monetary value to cooperative agreements and can enjoy the other non-monetary values of working together. The Council, too, in its leadership role, values and therefore creates cooperative agreements. In 2013, some examples of fostering cooperation are the Sustainable Bags Committee, made up of community members and elected officials. The Power of 10 placemaking workshop, made up of over 100 community members coming to plan a public space. the volunteer breakfast, in which the City Council thanked the over 100 volunteers who work on boards and commissions. And our town spring cleanup, sponsored by DECI, downtown Eau Claire, in which over 200 volunteers spread out and clean up downtown Eau Claire once a spring. The Joint Commission on Shared Services, created by resolution in 2005, has matured into a high-level policy-setting and visionary entity. It is the only one of its kind in the state because it includes the city, the county, and the school district. The Commission's successes so far are a serious investigation of joint health insurance coverage and a combined records management strategy. Next year, the coming year, the Commission is working on its work plan and will continue to present to the citizens a value at a very high level of policy setting, visionary leadership in the area of shared services. Now, the City of Eau Claire has valued shared services for a long time. In 2003, the Chippewa Valley Shared Service Steering Committee prepared a report on the opportunities for intergovernmental collaboration in the Chippewa Valley. Their report, published in 2003, puts forward 7 areas of collaboration. A couple sound familiar: training and safety regulations and shared purchasing. You can see that we've thought about the same things and have matured and come forward in our decision-making to share in cooperative agreements. In closing, I'd like to share the closing paragraph of the report issued by that commission. The paragraph reads, "Last year, at the first meeting held by area governments to discuss shared services, Chancellor Donald Mash quoted an observation by Professor Don Kettle, head of the State Commission on State and Local Partnerships. He said of the Chippewa Valley, 'There is more common sense and civility here in this area than anywhere else in the state.' Both common sense and civility have predominated in this exploration of shared opportunities. The willingness to cooperate has been established, and new cooperative efforts are already moving forward." Eau Claire should be proud, as I am, of its history with shared agreements. This should give us confidence in forming future cooperative efforts. As you've heard, we have lots of practice, and we are good at it. Like the image before you, we are more than a collection of disparate neighborhoods held together because we happen to live in the same city. We work together, we share, we cooperate. We are a city that works. Thank you for your time this afternoon. We'll just take a little break and gather ourselves, just a couple minutes, and then we'll continue with our meeting for the afternoon. Thank you all for coming.